Good morning. Good morning. My name is Adam, and I am the chairperson for the Connecticut Regional Public Relations Committee of Narcotics Anonymous here in Connecticut. I'd like to welcome you all to this virtual conference being hosted by the Northeast Zonal Forum of Narcotics Anonymous. Our purpose here today is to give you a better understanding of what Narcotics Anonymous is and what we do. I have a short presentation in a minute to show you, and then we'll get into our panel, who will provide some experience from the field in working with Narcotics Anonymous to help their clients. And then after the panel, we will have a small group breakout sessions where we can have a conversation about your experiences with NA and how we might be able to work with you to help those addicts you have contact with. Before we get into the presentation, I would like to introduce LaRue McNish from the Deputy Warden's Office here in the state of Connecticut Department of Corrections, who will say a few words. LaRue?
Thank you. So first I want to thank you guys for being able to put this together. We were working on this for a while and trying to do an in-person conference, but of course due to COVID, but I'm glad we are able to do it this way. I want to thank NA for all that you do, and it has been a tremendous impact on our inmates for when the panel comes in and speaks to everybody, and that has truly been missed so far. So I know we are working on something virtual to happen to continue those services and how important that is to the inmate population. So I want to first thank you guys. I apologize that Sandra could not be here to speak for herself. She had a very important meeting she had to attend, but I just wanted to thank everybody for all that you do and thank everyone who's a part of the conference and who's here today to learn. And hopefully we can do this again more widespread to include our parole officers and other parts of DOC, not just our counselors and volunteers, but to make it worldwide, because a lot of people do not know the benefits that NA has on our inmate population. And thank you.
Thank you very much. And I also, again, thank you to everybody that's attending. I know that this has stretched past just the Connecticut borders and into the whole Northeast and even further than that. So this is a really wonderful opportunity for all of us, I believe. So just a little bit of background about Narcotics Anonymous and what we do again. We believe we are a vital resource in your community. We are a lifeline for very, very many. A little bit of origin of why Narcotics Anonymous is in our name. In 1953, at the time when our first meeting started, that was the commonly used term for all illegal substances. So that's why they adopted NA, Narcotics Anonymous, and not anything else. NA is not a drug-specific program. Its universal appeal comes from the fact that we specify the disease of addiction and not with any specific substance. So we are adapted from AA. Our 12 steps and 12 traditions are adapted. Regular NA meetings started in Los Angeles in 1953. And then in 1983, we published our basic text, the book Narcotics Anonymous. It's our version of the big book. And after that, the growth of Narcotics Anonymous was just explosive. And as of 2018, the middle of 2018, there are over 70,000 meetings in 144 countries. And it's grown even further past that. I think it's up to like 76,000 meetings now. So again, what is NA? We believe we're a vital resource because we believe the therapeutic value of one addict helping another is just without parallel. That support network that we can provide to each other is very vital. The 12 steps provide a process for change, internal change. If you're familiar with the steps at all, we look at who we are and who we were, and look at how we can change these parts of our personality and our character to become better people. And we do believe that Narcotics Anonymous is an adjunct to treatment. It's not a replacement for treatment. We don't believe that. It's an adjunct in continuing care. We do believe that the NA meeting is the primary vehicle for delivering the NA message of recovery. Anytime 2 or more NA members gather, that constitutes a meeting in our eyes. They provide an atmosphere of recovery from drug dependence. We often share our personal experiences with addiction and recovery. Basically, we get together and we share with each other how we make it through the day without picking up that drug. We typically find that, part of the program is that experienced members support the newer members. I see that slide still has older in there. I thought I took that out because sometimes our experienced members are not necessarily older. However, obviously, we do grow old if we continue to stay clean. NA meetings are fully self-supporting. We support ourselves through our own contributions. There's no fees in attending Narcotics Anonymous. It's all voluntary contributions. And guidelines of how to conduct an NA meeting are available online. We have a few resources available. There's a group pamphlet, a guide to service, etc. Here's a little picture of a group down in Mexico, I believe, and typical setup. So again, the NA meeting is that primary vehicle. They provide an environment simply which people can help one another stop using drugs and learn to live drug-free. That's our message, is that any addict can stop using, lose the desire to use, and find a new way to live. And that's what we do. Here's some of those people living that wonderful new life. Here's another picture of a meeting going on with a 12 steps banner. So as far as meeting growth, again, we talked about that explosive growth, and you can see back in the mid 80s, there were less than 10,000 meetings, and it's just continued to grow and grow. That top blue line is the trend for all of Narcotics Anonymous. The non-USA you see is still growing quite a bit there. And the USA, it's still growing slightly. It is sort of flatlined a little bit. We were quite established in the United States. So with huge growth in Iran as well. And here's a little map, again, from 2018, showing all the NA meetings, where all the NA meetings are around the world. And it's tough to see on the screen, I'm sure. The little colors up on the top show how many meetings. So the darker green, and then as you get into the orange, that's more meetings. So one of the things we know about Narcotics Anonymous is, because of our focus on addiction, we have great cultural adaptability. There's long-term NA communities in India, in Japan, in Western Europe, in Latin America, in the Middle East. It's just, this is not just a little pop-up thing. It just continues to grow and grow. The more recent growth has been in the Asia Pacific, in Eastern Europe, and in Africa, really growing in Eastern Africa, Southern Africa. We have published NA literature in 47 languages and meetings held in 80 different languages. So again, it's not just an English thing or a United States thing. Here's some photos showing some of these, again, the people in other countries having meetings and having conventions and presentations such as this. So a little bit, we have some statistics to show you. The last time we had a membership survey was in 2018. It's been carried out biennially since 1996. And 55% of our members have rated that first NA meeting as being important or very important. And those top 3 influences to attend that meeting are either another NA member, a treatment or counseling agency, or family member. And members that surveyed averaged 2.19 meetings per week in attendance. So as far as gender goes, we're still very, we're kind of split, 57%, 42% male, female, with 1% reporting in as other. The age of our fellowship is, average age is 45, but you can see there's quite a bit between 30 and 40 and quite a bit between 50 and 60. I know we do have there's quite a bit in the 20s as well. And there are some younger members even. I don't know how many of them responded to the survey, obviously, because it is a self-survey. Employment status, you can see that, as I'm sure you're aware, a lot of addicts, living on the streets are not employed. But we come to Narcotics Anonymous and we start staying clean, and we get employment status. We have, you see that homemaker is 64%, and then student is 4%, unemployed, still a little unemployed, 7%, but 11% are retired, which is great too. So years drug free, you'll see our average years clean is 11.41 at the bottom there. And so, 31%, 1 to 5 years clean. This kind of goes to the, there's a myth that there's not a lot of clean time or recovery in Narcotics Anonymous. Well, this kind of shows you that's not necessarily true. Over 22% have over 20 years clean. And then areas of improvement, pretty much right all the way across the board, our members just can see a marked improvement in almost all areas of their lives: family relationships, social connectedness, hobbies and interests, stable housing, employment, even education. A lot of NA members get clean and wind up going back to school and getting degrees and stuff like that. So it's really, NA's just helped a lot in all areas there. So what we can do in cooperating with you and other professionals is, we welcome clients to meetings, your clients to meetings. I know a lot of you are from DOC facilities. So, we do the hospitals and institution panels a lot and bring meetings into the inmates. But obviously we're there to welcome them when they come out as well, and introduce them to regular meetings on the outside. We also make presentations to professionals and clients just like this regularly. We have a lot of printed material and audiovisual material, our helplines, our websites. There's tons of them out there. Information abounds. There's availability of subscription to NA newsletters, and literature is available freely on our website, na.org. And there's no charge or fees to attend NA recovery meetings or for these presentations as well. We will come into your facilities and give you a presentation, give your staff a presentation. We don't charge for that. So here's some examples of some presentations. We've been to the Canadian Assembly presentation to Addiction Medicine Conference in Canada. Here's one in Germany. Here's one in Lisbon that we attended. And so as far as benefits to the client or the inmate, again, we can assist with the transition back into the community. Again, going back to that therapeutic value and that network that we provide, we can, we help transition back into the community. We can support clients while in treatment and correctional facilities. There's, again, between our hospitals and institutional panels, I know in Connecticut and many other states in our country, we have, sponsorship behind the walls or writing steps for recovery to, assist those behind the walls in actually working the steps. We do provide that peer-based support network. And again, drug-free role model reinforcement is, that speaks for itself, I believe. The professional, as far as benefits to you, the research indicates that it improves retention of recovery, and that, again, we provide immediate access to aftercare support, so to speak, for those coming out of treatment or, for those on parole or probation. We're here to assist them in living a drug-free life, which, only helps the system overall. So we have Narcotics Anonymous literature. This just shows a picture of all different stuff in different languages, informational pamphlets and books, and our keychains and medallions and little booklets. And if you need to contact us, again, in Connecticut, I'm from Connecticut, we have, our website is ctna.org. We have a phone line you can call, 800-627-3543. Our Northeast Zonal Forum has a website of NEZF.org, and there's NA World Services, which can connect you to all different regions and states and countries all over the place, and that's NA.org again. So again, thank you very much for allowing me for indulging me in this presentation.